Good afternoon. My name is Tejal Shah. I'm the Chief Assistant Treasurer for the City and County of San Francisco, and we'll be walking through our budget submission for the 25 and 26 budget years. We'll be submitting that to the mayor's office in February right after President's Day. So this is a great sneak peek into our thoughts, and you'll be able to pose questions later at the end. I'm going to go off camera so that you can fully engage with the presentation itself. I want to thank Eric for supporting me through the presentation. Next slide, please. Great. So the mission and the vision of the organization is really focused in on sort of voluntary tax compliance and collecting city funds. The way we do that is really six central ways, really fiscal stewardship, really making sure that the way we invest our funds are safe and sound and take advantage of the appropriate market resources so that we can help achieve the goals of the city and county of San Francisco. Financial equity, removing barriers to develop safe financial products for residents and businesses, really using the treasurer's bully pulpit, recognizing the services that are available to businesses and companies and making sure that all people, irrespective of their income, have access to those resources so that they can build financial stability and wealth. Customer service, really being consistent and agile and responsive to the millions of interactions that we have with various people across the city to support them in voluntary compliance, meeting their needs, answering questions, and really providing guidance in how to navigate the tax schema that is within San Francisco. Innovation, we use innovation really to not necessarily use brand new technologies, but really to improve the experiences for our taxpayers and customers, and also really for our staff themselves, so this is an enjoyable place to work. Operational excellence, similarly, is really looking at the way that we do the work, making sure that we're not bureaucratic in our approach, as well as working efficiently and seamlessly so that we have both innovative solutions in place that make it a good environment for our team and our staff to work in that correlate to good experiences with our customers. And finally, rigorous compliance, making sure that we use data and digital intelligence and machine intelligence to make sure that while we talk about voluntary compliance, we ensure that everyone that should file taxes, pay taxes, do that, and find those folks that aren't able to or haven't done that in a fast, rapid fashion using data to support our needs. Next slide. As I stated earlier, the mission and vision of the City and County of San Francisco's Treasurer and Tax Collector is very clear and self-evident. We are both the banker and the tax collector for the City and County, as well as uniquely the collection agent, and we serve as the investment officer for the short-term funds in the City and County of San Francisco. We do this really by providing excellent service to our staff and to our community. We work vigorously to promote diversity, equity, inclusion, and we really sort of believe that by having those tenets, we have a stronger and smarter work environment and a more informed government agency that's serving our public. Next slide, please. Just some stats about who we are and how we operate. We have in San Francisco around 95,000 registered businesses. Our office alone collects $6.3 billion, and we invest and manage the pool of short-term funds for the city, which is around $15 billion. The other half of that $15 billion that doesn't come from us is primarily other receipts from other departments and capital funds. As I said earlier, we really pride ourselves on facilitating voluntary compliance and making sure that people know what's expected of them. And in that vein, we have about over 1 million different forms of communication supporting people to do what they are required to do. We are adaptive in making sure that people are able to meet their needs, both online and in home and in person. We have about $3.3 billion come through our online payment portals and around 16 million online transactions correlated to those funds coming in. As I said, we have a lot of folks communicating to us. We have 77,000 individual tickets asking us questions, and we have about 754,000 filings coming in for the various taxes that we collect for them, being all online, again, so that they can do that both in the convenience of their home offices or, again, coming in where we support them. Next slide, please. The highlights of this past year have really been implementing the beginning implementation, really, of the voter-approved empty homes tax. The first tax year is 2024, the year that we've just started. The collection will begin in 2025. We have stabilized with our new banking partners and completed that transition in the last fiscal year and the beginning of this half fiscal year. And we expanded the innovative program that we launched several years ago called First Year Free, which really provides new small businesses the opportunity to waive their initial permit fees, planning fees, license fees, and registration tax so that they can start their businesses here in San Francisco with a strong footing. Next slide. In addition, we have been really heavy and heads down in business tax reform, which has really been looking at the schema of business taxes that are in San Francisco and how to improve upon them, recognizing the change in the workforce here in the city, as well as real estate, as well as recognizing how to achieve further equity amongst our business tax filers. That report just came out recently, and we are in the midst of sort of the next steps of that report. We had our first year of a full graduating class at San Francisco Unified School District, who all graduated with college savings accounts that are spearheaded by kindergarten to college. And now we will continue to have every graduating class be able to have college savings accounts. And we are seeing upwards of $8 million of individual participants saving in addition to our seed grants. And similarly, we've expanded and have shown not only sort of highlights, but actually sort of amazing evaluation results on our pilot program, which is now no longer a pilot in San Francisco, Be the Jury, where we support low-income folks to serve on the jury by giving them a $100 stipend for each day of service. Next slide, please. As with many of our other departments, we are continuing to work on how to make our office environment more meaningful for all the staff, and in really making sure that that work correlates back to how we are being responsive to the community as well. We engaged in an equity consultant. We've had a series of trainings. Every single employee has received 6 hours of training. Managers have received an additional 2 hours of 8 hours of training on a wide range of issues. And in addition to that, we really are recognizing the need to sort of work across our own organization to build competency and fluency with one another. And we made some sizable systemic changes on changing minimum qualifications for positions to make sure that our applicant pool and hiring pool is as broad as possible, especially for our entry-level positions, and making sure that the promoted positions have real opportunity for those entry-level individuals to grow and step forward in those roles. Next slide, please. The priorities for our upcoming 2 fiscal years that we're submitting our budget to are related to implementing the empty homes tax, moving forward with business tax simplification reforms on the report that we just put forward, and further promoting our equity work around SF Lens, which is really extending our work in financial health and financial justice to the small business community and brokering strong, high quality bank products for small businesses and particularly local business enterprise or LBEs here in San Francisco. In terms of the budget, next slide, thank you. Our current budget is $48.5 million. It's primarily made up of general fund, that's funds from the city, interdepartmental services, which is otherwise known as work orders, where we do work for other departments. The primary work that we do for other departments is related to collection of their delinquent obligations or delinquent receivables, as well as processing of their payments, otherwise known as lockbox processing. We also have a series of projects that we do. implementing the taxes that we've spoken a lot about, and the systems that support them, and first year free, as we spoke about. And then we have funding from grants as well, supporting financial justice and a lot of our work around financial empowerment. As known, we are asked by the mayor's office to reduce our budget by 10% with ongoing savings. We will be achieving that objective as stipulated in this presentation by reducing a combination of our general fund support, increasing our revenue. You will see a slight increase in our projects. We are seeking funds to implement further technology efforts for our tax reform work that we have ahead of us. Next slide, please. Again, how we're specifically doing it, as I detailed, is we are increasing some of our revenue, really focusing in on our actual revenue collections that we receive. We are deleting vacant positions. We have approximately 10 vacant positions that we'll be deleting. This includes the ones that we were provided to the mayor's office mid-year. We have some positions that we're substituting to the lower FTE. As I stated earlier, we have increased philanthropic support for our two, for kindergarten to college and financial justice. And we do have some specific project work that we are requesting funds for. One is for the business tax and the supports that we need for those changes ahead of us. The business tax is also requiring some more litigation work, and so we'll be seeking potentially more services for litigation services. And again, we will have to support the ongoing costs for the empty homes tax. Next slide. So that's really our budget for fiscal year 25 and 26 budget years. If you have any questions, please let us know, or you can ask, or you can send in our comments, I should say, or also send them to us directly and we will answer them. Any public comments?
If anyone has comment, feel free to raise your hand and I can call on you to unmute and provide comment.
Great. Seeing no public comment, thank you. This video will be available online. And again, we really appreciate your support and look eager to work with everybody in the upcoming years. Thank you.